Great light, everybody. Grand rising, stand erect upon the land. Let's talk about the word elite or elite, right? Because it is elite, earth light. Well, you're the earth light, you're the elite. Right? That's pertaining to the sun, moon, and stars, Isis, Ra, and the El, which is the 7. So that's you, because you hold all of these in your body. Okay? So, a lot of people, they get upset when they find out we die to our bodies. Our bodies die, right? And the die is pertaining to the dice. And if you understand the dice, you understand when you die, because the single dice is a die, when you die, you still have your dice, right? Because you're a creator made in the image of a creator, right? And the image you're made of is yourself. You've accessed the mirror, the portal jack entry window to come to this place in the beta world. So when you die, you just lose your one die. You don't lose your primary source, right? You just access the window. So that's how you're able to come here and then not die. Your body perishes in the material sine wave reality. That's a part of the sin waiver, the sine waiver, SINE, silent E, sin. That's from where they get the word sin, from the sine wave, which is the material wave. And everything here teaches us about the material realm and how it decays. It just rolls over. Lots of stuff. Even the animals, they are alive and then they have an expectancy of life and then they die. Or they become something useful to the earth, right? Their bodies go back to the earth and it's very replenishing to the earth. So literally everything that did come from the earth, right, goes back to the earth. It's a part of the sine wave cycle of begin and end. Okay, even the trees have a begin and end. Even rocks and water has begin and end cycles. It's how everything works here. Okay, so with regard to death, a lot of people are looking for the Holy Grail, the fountain of youth. How can we stay here longer? Well, this is the Holy Grail, your head. Look no further than yourself. You are the Holy Grail. Okay, and so a lot of your mindsets are presets, right? So what have you preset in your mind? What are your preset factory settings, right? You can go and you can look at your DNA ladder, which is, connected to your birth chart. Okay, because it's pertaining to the moon and the stages of development of the cell salts, right? And you will find you can go a long ways out, but still you don't know where the begin. Well, you know where the begin is, but you don't know where the beginning of the end is pertaining to the sine wave. And the planets play a vital role in all of that information. So lots of weighing must be done. But why would you want to know that? It's part of your DNA, which is your NDA, non-disclosure agreement. You've disclosed it for yourself. It's not going to be ready access, like you want. Especially we don't know that kind of stuff anyways. But even if you did know, what would you do different if you did know? But technically, we already know that our bodies are going to perish, right? And so lots of people are trying to look for ways to stop it. What causes our bodies to decay? Well, let me show you. Okay, and so I've painted this. Right, and this was a light code I received, and I received it in this great detail, right, when I was staring at the sun. And I was like, oh, this is healing, right? But this is also the cause of our decay. And what is it? Well, lo and behold, as I do with most things, I was looking through just basic information, down to the nitty-gritty elements. And guess what this element is that causes our decay in our bodies? It's called oxygen. That's right, guys. The very oxygen that we breathe in and breathe out. We practice receiving this information and exhaling this information that we all are attached to and we all need to live. It's the very thing that's causing our decay and demise. So that's something that we should know. I mean, it's not stoppable, right? Even if you were to stop breathing oxygen, your body needs oxygen to live. I mean, it needs it. Lots of things here needs oxygen to live. It's a part of the planet system. But it also is the cause for death, right? And it all has to do with the sine wave as well, because the sine wave is pertaining to oxygen and information also. Okay? Because it's the sun. The sun, he's essentially creating an environment here, with the water. The water's all in the air. We need water in our bodies too, so oxygen plays a role with the water. So yeah, there's that. But you can access a higher mind and practice your alchemy and literally, the final product of the Christ oil harvest that happens when the moon enters your sun sign. And this is why you need to know the calendar of the sun for 12 and the moon for 13. And you could see when they hook up, right? When they hook up, that's your body's natural timing for your harvest of your body. It's not the same for everybody. You've got your collective calendar, which is the collective weather of the planetary alignment. That's the true weather. The planets are the true weather. And where they're at on the wheel, I mean, that is pertaining to the collective of humanity, right? But then with your birth chart, that comes in, and that's your personal weather. That's your personal weather, and you should weigh all of those factors in, because there's decisions that just should not be made. Mercury in retrograde, that's a good time to kind of put off your decision making. You don't want to make big decisions during that time, right? Because it could kind of send you on a different course. The planets play a role in the different courses, the different portal gates that you can access that create the different timelines, because we're in a tesseract and you do have free will and everything is kind of set in your chart, but the planets are moving, right? And they're playing a role, okay? And they're opening gates and gates are closing, right? And then you can access this reality, this reality, this reality, and your chart can go different ways depending on that. And it's all up to you, the direction in which it goes, okay? But it can all be traced back to your planets, right? Your planets, technically, if you're not an alpha, your planets are ruling over you. So you're subject to the planets, right? And you're subject to their influences, right? But if you know about the planets and you know about their influences, and then you can rule above them, and they're like the stars in your hands that you can control, right? And you understand the reading and you understand which way the script should go, right? So it'll kind of be like your fortune telling for yourself, which is good. It's good that you make good decisions and are able to weigh and be very calculating when it comes to making decisions. So your planets can help you do that. But yeah, guys, I just thought I'd come on here and tell you about what causes our bodies to decay, and it is the oxygen. That's the culprit. This is the bad guy, but at the same time, he's the good guy once again. So ascended masters, when do you ascend? Well, you can ascend now. Mentally, you can ascend now and you can return. Your body's a vehicle. Your body's a vessel. It serves a very good purpose here. And then when it's time to go, it's time to go, right? There's literally no fear. We could come back and get a new body if we wanted. We could come back in spirit. I mean, there's multi ways that we could come back here. There's stargates all over this planet. They're not visible to you unless you have the eyes to see, because a lot of stuff is hidden literally in plain sight. You just have to have the eyes to see and the ears to hear and find Waldo. Where's Waldo?